Hello, this is Rich from QALIUS.
Hi, this is Miriam from PSHSA. Thank you for joining us today for a talk on how we can support workplaces with tools that are based on artificial intelligence. So the reason that we are all gathered here today is because PSHSA has been working on launching a chatbot on our website, so we can connect that with our intelligent safety strategy and help our client experience. So this project is a part of PSHSA's Enable the Market Through Technology strategy. We partner and pilot on new projects to advance the intelligent safety using this on the basis of this strategy. And the purpose of starting the chatbot project was to implement the AI technology to support PSHSA's business operations and to support our intelligent safety strategy, which really is a way for us to combine curiosity and human behavior and experience with artificial intelligence and analytics to understand and solve health and safety challenges. So for this reason, we partnered up with QALIUS so that we could build an Amazon Web Services powered bot. And our chatbot has been named Sage, and the relationship with QALIUS supports this strategy in two ways. So our partnership with QALIUS supports our strategy to identify and pursue connections around technologies with the potential to address health and safety challenges. Sage also allows us to explore new technologies and capabilities that are related to digital content delivery and multi-channel delivery. Our goal was that with the help of this system, with the help of this AI-powered chatbot, we can reduce the need for our experts to handle the repetitive or easily answered questions and drive clients to expertise for the higher level conversations and needs. And we realized that in the pandemic, there were a few challenges that came up. So the pandemic had an impact on the customer service where there was a 3 times increase in our chat volume. And so with the AI-powered chatbot, we are able to handle this type of rapid increase in the volume simultaneously without putting any burden on our client experience systems or representatives. With the chatbot, we are also able to improve our client experience by providing digital solutions and also focus our representatives on the high impact client interactions and allow them to focus on the relationship building tasks to further improve client experience. It's a way for PSHSA to adapt to the changing demands in the market as well as from our clients and to better utilize our resources to assist our clients the best way we can. So I would like to introduce to you our chatbot, Sage, that is soon to be launched on our website as a way for our clients to begin a live chat and seek and get instant help from our system.
I'm going to tell you a few things about the artificial intelligence platform from AWS, because it will help you understand what you're seeing when we demonstrate the chatbot in a few moments. It begins with work at AWS, where their team builds machine learning models that model human language. The models are trained by providing countless examples of actual human language. The model then is zipped up into a service, an AI platform service, artificial intelligence platform service, which is available over the internet. And so you can be running an application, you go out over the internet, make a secure connection to AWS, interact with the artificial intelligence service, and get a response from the AI service. And you do all this without having to be involved in the building of the machine learning model or the training of the machine learning model. You also don't have to be involved in the hosting of the compute infrastructure that is delivering that machine learning model in real time. The AWS AI platform has a large number of services that all work together to deliver different natural language capabilities. These can include speech to text capabilities, where spoken word is converted into text, text to speech, where written text is converted into audio format spoken word, translation from one language to another, automatic comprehension of the sentiment that is expressed in a piece of text, identifying trends in data and forecasting what will happen next. Searching inside documents that may contain structured or unstructured information and returning that information. All of these are examples of AI platform services. The services are delivered very cost effectively. When it comes to real life implementations of most of these, you can pay fractions of a penny per transaction. For implementing the chatbot, the AI service which is critical to us is called Amazon Lex. And the next slide has an illustration of that solution. Over on the far left of the slide, we have the website chat interface that Miriam showed you a few minutes ago. The chat interface we're using is from a provider called Live Help Now. Live Help Now implements the chat interface which the PSHSA customer service representatives use today. We're making the AI-powered chatbot be effectively the first customer service representative that a client will interact with when they go to that interface. The AI chat engine is called Amazon Lex. Amazon Lex manages the back and forth conversation with the client. As that conversation is happening, if the chatbot needs some information that doesn't have available, information that has to be up to date, for example, it can get that through integrations that we've built with PSHSA systems. So for example, inside PSHSA systems, there can be a list of upcoming training courses that are offered by PSHSA and their partners. If the chatbot needs information on the schedule for training courses, then we used a general purpose compute service from AWS called AWS Lambda. That compute service reaches out over the internet to the PSHSA systems. Over a secure connection, it queries those systems and it gets back over secure connection the result of that query. And then that information is made available to the chat engine to carry on the conversation with the client. There are some concepts that help with configuring Amazon Lex so that it can have a successful conversation with the client. And one of those concepts is called an utterance. The PSHSA customer service team has a tremendous database of prior conversations that visitors to the PSHSA website have had through the chat interface with the customer service team at PSHSA. That record of historic conversations is a gold mine in the things that visitors to the website say when they're initiating a conversation. And here's an example. It might be, I want to change my registration. We call that an utterance. The power of the Amazon Lex service is that utterance can be related to many other sentences that a user might start a conversation with. And we don't have to tell the Lex chat engine all those other examples. It automatically recognizes related phrases to the utterance that we have told Amazon Lex to expect. This is the power of the natural language engine that I was talking about earlier, and the machine learning, which is underlying the Amazon Lex service. Now, in this case, that utterance, I want to change my registration, or any related phrases that Lex recognizes as getting at the same basic idea, they are related to an intent. We have configured Amazon Lex to expect dozens of possible intents. Again, all informed by the prior history of chats that real life customers have had with the CSRs. In this case, the intent represented by that utterance is modify a training registration. From there, there may be additional pieces of information that the chat engine needs to have to execute on that intent. Those pieces of information are called slots. In this case, relevant slots could be an order ID, billing email, and participant name. This information is gathered by the chat engine, with the chat engine managing the back and forth conversation with the client to gather this information. When the chat engine has gathered the information it needs to fill each of the slots, then it has the information it needs to execute the customer intent. In this case, that modification of a training registration. And from there, it uses the integrations we were talking about earlier with PSHSA systems to execute that transaction.
So let's see a few demos about how the chatbot system is working and is demonstrating those integrations and the conversation flows that we built into it. So let's start with the basic inquiry. So a client can start a conversation with the bot, either with saying hello or hi, or by directly, asking the question. So let's take an example here where the client starts a conversation with hello. So here the chat window is open, is activated. The bot is starting a conversation. The client starts the conversation with a hello. That prompts the bot to send the client the 4 categories they can choose from, the question categories. Let's say the client chose training inquiry. That's what their question is about. And they're looking to find information on how to register for a course. So they click that button that prompts the bot to send them an FAQ document that when clicked on opens in a new tab and as a PDF, which has information on how they can register for the course. So it has instructions. And then the bot will ask them, was your question answered, as the last way to wrap up the conversation and to identify client satisfaction as well. Now, let's say the client directly asked the question and did not go through the hello or the hi part of the conversation. In this case, starting off with the same chat interface, we have the client who directly types in the question in the chat bar. So they want to register for a course. The bot identifies directly what the intent of the client is and sends them that same PDF document that has the FAQs on how to register for the course and the instructions. So this demonstrates that the bot is able to identify the direct intent of the client from their question, or by allowing the client to select the category of their question and then moving forward from there. The bot also is able to have a conversation with the client to understand which pathway are they going to take next. So it is able to let the client know what their next step should be. So let's say we have a client who wants to know if they should be taking a refresher course for the JHSC training. So we have a client here who types in a question directly, do I need a refresher course? So this is another example of the client starting a conversation with the direct question. It prompts the bot to ask, was your JHSE completed before 2016? It's trying to understand where the client needs to go. Let's say the client said no, the bot will then tell them, then yes, you need a refresher, and then send them a link to the web page where they can register for the refresher training and find the location or the time that they want. And then it will wrap up the conversation with asking the question, was your question answered? This question is key for to constantly improve the bot as well as for the bot's learning, because it helps to identify, where was the client satisfied with the answer, yes or no. If it wasn't, then the chat is transferred to the live agent. So the customer is not left in the middle of the chat, but if there's at any point the client feels that their question is not being answered, they have the ability to transfer to an agent for a more detailed or a higher level resolution from our representatives. So like Rich mentioned, we have also integrated the bot with our databases, and one of them is with our website. So let's say we have a client that comes in and is looking for a specific resource. They are trying to find that from a resource catalog. The bot can help them directly by finding what they're looking for exactly. So here we have a client who will start a conversation with a hello instead of a direct question. The bot sends them the question categories to choose from. They're looking for health and safety, so they select health and safety, and they're looking for a resource, so they choose the resource button. Then the bot will ask them what type of resource they want. Let's say you want fast facts. Then the bot will ask, well, what sector do you want? So it's trying to filter down. Let's say we select health and community services. Then it will ask the client to choose a hazard that they would like. So let's say you choose infection prevention. Now what the bot has done, it's linked with our website. So it has auto-populated those filters and has sent the client the link from the resource catalog that is filtered and very specific to what the client is looking for. So the client chose infection prevention as the hazard, the health and community as the sector, and the fast fact as the type of resource. So it auto-populates the filters on our website and is able to send the client that exact link. And again, it will wrap up the conversation by asking the client if their question was answered or not. Another great integration that we've done with our database is to allow the bot to send emails to our participants for our trainings. So let's say we have a client who is looking for a registration confirmation email because it might not have received it or might have missed it. And so that's what they're looking for, and they go seeking to the live chat for help. So here we have a client who's looking for the registration confirmation email to be resent to them. So they type in their question directly. The bot is able to identify, so the bot needs to verify their identity for security purposes, as well as to find the order. So it will ask the order ID, if they know it or not, yes or no. And if they do, yes, then they need to tell the order ID. Then the bot will ask the billing email address. So the email address for the billing person who created that registration. If that's correct, then the bot will show a list of the courses that are under that billing person and prompt the client to select the identifier. So you're using number identifiers for courses. And then it will give a list of participants to choose from. So do you want all or just single? And then it will double check if you want to send the email to that one participant. If you do, it will send the registration confirmation email directly to the participant email address in the system and complete the conversation. If for any reason there was some information missing here that the client wanted more information on, then of course they can be directly transferred to an agent for further help. So these are some examples of how the bot has been so successfully integrated with many of our systems. And there was a whole journey behind this that I would like to share with you as well. So this journey started with an RFP, which QALIUS won, and we did a proof of concept to test out what are some of the abilities of the bot that we were looking at. So after the success of a proof of concept, we were able to then identify intents from our commonly asked questions in our current live chat system to establish the conversation flows that we wanted to include in our chatbot. Then we connected the bot with our databases and our current live chat interface so that when a client does go on to our website and is looking for live chat, they see the same live chat interface, but now the first representative that they're dealing with is a chatbot. Then we provided the relevant training to our e-consulting team and to our client experience agents so that they can, they understand what the bot will be doing and how we can move forward, and as well as to our IT team as well for any troubleshooting. Then we have done a lot of user testing with our staff volunteers from across the organization as well. So we wanted to get as much feedback as we can to create an optimal chatbot. And we implemented that feedback from our user testing and are working towards launching the bot. The idea is that the bot will continue to learn more over time and become better at identifying and addressing intents. So it's not perfect right now, but it is learning, and that is the whole purpose or the point behind this machine learning that Rich mentioned. And that brings us into the ongoing optimization that is a big part of this project. So we treat our chatbot, or we treat Sage, as a new employee. So it's a new employee that has come into our organization to assist with our business operations. And it has already that knowledge and the skills that it needs to help with our client inquiries. But it is still new, so it's going to learn over time. And that bot learning will be identified with the ratio of the intents that are detected versus non-detected. So like Rich mentioned, that intent of the client helps the conversation to move forward. And we've already inputted quite a few of those, but it's up to the bot as we're learning to identify what's detected and which ones are not. And so that helps us to identify, where does the bot need to learn more? So where does it need more training? Where does it need more skills? It helps. We can also optimize our bot by understanding if there's a need for any new conversation flows. So if there's any new health and safety challenges in the market, and we have clients that are inquiring about it, that shows us a need for creating that conversation flow. Another way to our next step here with this bot is to look at that last question that the bot asks. Was your question answered? Because that identifies, the satisfaction of the client and the successful ending of the conversation. And so if for any reason the client was not satisfied with the answer provided, then it helps us to know what question has the most frequency of the client inquiry not being answered, and that helps us to identify any complicated or overlapping workflows that need to be simplified or need to be reevaluated. And looking at these conversations with the bot and the outcomes or the feedback that we're getting from the chatbot, it will help us to identify if there's any key topics for future development of the bot. So like I mentioned, any new challenges in the market, any new bugs that are coming up, or any bugs in the chatbot system, or the health and safety concerns that we need to input into the bot for the continuous improvement of the bot as well.
We built the chatbot to address the intentions that the PSHSA customer service team has said are most representative of the intentions of the visitors to their website and the repetitive tasks that can come to the CSRs. There's an additional extension of the chatbot that we'd like to try next, which is to implement an enterprise search that is powered by the artificial intelligence platform. The enterprise search solution from Amazon is called Amazon Kendra. You point Amazon Kendra at a website and at underlying data sources such as, say, frequently asked question documents or PDF documents that customer-facing materials. And Amazon Kendra is lightning fast at indexing through those materials. And when you have your index, then the artificial intelligence engine comes into play, because what it does is match based upon context. So rather than needing an exact keyword match to find a piece of information you're looking for, you can have a contextual match for that information. This is a very powerful thing to combine with the chatbot engine. We would use the same chat interface we have today, Amazon Lex, as we've implemented it to power the chatbot today. Then if Lex detects that the customer is looking for a piece of information and Lex hasn't had a pre-programmed intent related to that search, then we use what's called a fallback intent, and it'll go then to the Kendra search engine and ask Kendra to go find that information in the index data sources. So for example, if the customer was asking for an answer to a question and that question is answered in a frequently asked questions document, Kendra would find a match, even if the wording that the client provided is not exactly matched to the way the question is described in the FAQ. It would do the contextual match to find that information. And so that information is then passed back through the chain to Amazon Lex and to the chat interface. This is an obvious next step to take. We really look forward to trying it soon. More broadly, the AI services give lots of opportunities for innovation in customer service. And a lot of that innovation can help with adapting to visitors to the website who have perhaps greater comfort in a language other than English or French. So for example, then you can use translate services where there's AI-powered translations. Any of the services I described earlier, the video recognition, identifying the content in pictures, sentiment analysis, automatic transcription of calls to the CSRs, all of these can be implemented in automations that help drive continuous improvement in customer service and help adapt the customer service organization to the specific needs of the visitor. A lot of the implementation that we've done is relatively non-technical. We take great advantage of that wealth of knowledge of the PSHSA customer service team on prior conversations with clients. However, there is some technical work in the integrations between the chat engine and PSHSA systems. And for those integrations, it's important to have a degree of knowledge about the AWS platform to implement those integrations securely. We therefore recommend that if you don't have in your own organization individuals who have certifications in AWS, to use a partner if you want to implement an AI chatbot, just to make sure that you're using the systems appropriately and securely. If you'd like more information about how QALIUS and PSHSA implemented the chatbot, we have a flyer available that describes the solution. You can reach us at info@qalius.com to request that. For right now, Miriam and I are on the conference bridge to take questions, or you can use the email addresses here if you want to reach out to either of us directly.